Okay, let's get started. Almost the time. Let's get started. Good morning, everyone. I hope this semester is going great so far to all of you, and welcome to today's grad student summer internship panel discussion. All right, for whoever just coming into our meeting, please mute yourself, and thank you so much. All right, so this is Lou from Grad Affairs office, and I'm your academic advisor in the Grad Affairs office. I believe at this moment, I've already have certain level of communication with all of you, no matter your first year grad students or second year grad students. So welcome, and it's so great to see all of you here today. Well, I know this is just the second week of the entire semester, but I've received so many questions on internship, especially from the first year grad students. Lou, when should I start preparing for internship, and how should I build up my resume? Is there any resources that I can use to approve my portfolio? Anyone can help me polish my LinkedIn profile? All these are great questions, and I must say that I'm super excited to see you all plan your academic study here at COM so in advance. Like I always say, don't wait for opportunity, create one. So that's the reason why I think today's panel discussion would be super helpful to all of you, as we're going to have 4 current grad students in different programs, including advertising, journalism, public relations, and marketing communication research. And they're going to share with us their experiences during the internship during summer 2022. What did they do in the summer? And how did they feel about working in the United States as an international student? And how did they search for and secure this internship? And we're so lucky to have also one staff member from COM Career Service team. Michelle's going to tell us and talk about and share what resources their team, their office is going to offer to all the grad students this fall. And I also want to remind everyone that we are recording this panel discussion today. So if you have to leave early for classes or for another appointment, so don't worry about that. So we will be sharing the recording link to all of you later today. All right. Okay, so this is a little bit about today's agenda, and then including the topic that we're going to touch about, and including the jobs duty, the personal growth, and then this, how did they search for and then secure this internship, and what is the advice and suggestions these panelists can offer to all of you, the future intern. And then the last part, Michelle's going to talk about the COM Career Services internship resources to all grad students. And then now at that time, at the very end, I will stop sharing my screen and open up to all the questions. Okay, so without further ado, let me turn it over to all fantastic panelists and our guests today, and let them introduce themselves to you one by one. All right, Bijun, do you mind jumping first?
Hello, everyone. My name is Bijun. I'm sorry about my voice. I had runny nose right now. Let me know if you cannot hear me really well. And I am a second year master student majoring in marketing communication research at Boston University. And currently, I was working at Shark Ninja as a brand marketing co-op. For those who are not familiar with Shark Ninja can be separated into 2 parts. One is Shark, selling vacuums and all those click tools like steam mops and carpet instructor, like whatever it is for cleaning. And then for Ninja, like they sell a lot of kitchen appliances, and I really focus on Shark and as a brand marketing co-op. And during my undergrad, I joined the agency at University of Florida as a researcher, and then I also had an internship at Tornado Square, which is advertising agency in Florida, like pretty famous there. Then probably that's it.
Thank you. And JP, you're the next.
Hi, everybody. I'm JP. I'm second year journalism grad student at BU and my final semester. Last summer or this summer, I was interning at CBS Boston, the WBZ, which is the CBS affiliate here in Boston. I worked in the newsroom for a few months, did everything from script writing to going out with reporters in the field, all that stuff. Before that, I was editor-in-chief for Daily Free Press at Boston University, and I was a journalist back home for a couple of years.
Thank you, JP. Natalia, your turn.
Hey everyone, I'm Natalie. This summer I worked at CPP Investments. I was a public affairs and communications intern. Just a bit about CPP Investments. It is a large institutional investor based out of Canada, but has offices all over the world. We managed a fund of over $500 billion. So it's a large institutional investor, and the beneficiary is Canada's pension fund. So there was a little bit of public affairs work involved, a little bit of reputation work involved, and it was overall just a great experience in the field of finance communications.
Thank you. I move to Wendy, Yiqing.
Okay, hello everyone, I'm Yiqing, and you can also call me Wendy. So I'm the second year graduate student majoring in advertising, and this semester, and also last summer, I've been interning at Pbs Distribution. So just a little bit background of Pbs Distribution. It's a media distributor, mainly like licensed programs to overseas clients, and their own together by PBS and also WGBH. So Pbs Distribution mainly distribute the contents from WGBH and PBS. And yes.
Thank you, Yiqing. And now I have one staff member from Career Service Team, Nichelle. Nichelle, please introduce yourself to us, please.
Thanks, Lou. Hi, guys. I'm Nichelle, and I'm representing the Office of Career Services. As you see, I've been here a little under 2 months, so I am a little new as well, but excited to hear these good questions, answer your questions, and give you some resources.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nichelle. And also we have another staff member from Career Service Team, Jake Small, who is not able to be here with us today. So, but I still post this hands-on picture here, and I want to give you a little bit of information about Jake. Jake is Assistant Director of Career Service and work closely with Heather Finn, the Director of Career Service. Jake has really rich experiences in interacting and communicating with students and help students polish their LinkedIn profile, their resume, and also help give you some very valuable resources and advice on how to build up your career path. So if you have any questions, feel free to book appointment on Handshake with Jake Small. All right. Okay, now let's move to our first part, and I want all our panelists to give us a little bit more introduction about what did you do during the past summer and what exactly this job duty is, and then what skills you feel like you used during this internship. Okay, all right. How about we start from JP?
Yeah, sure. So I worked in the newsroom for CBS. CBS is the affiliate here is WBZ, and it's a TV channel here, news channel. So my day-to-day really looked like preparing scripts for news. So when you see the anchors speaking on TV, they're reading off the prompter and they're reading scripts that producers make at the channel. So day to day, I was helping out producers writing scripts for the certain shows throughout the day. When I wasn't doing that, I was helping out with research for longer term projects that the producers were looking into. Otherwise, I was also CBS also organized a bunch of networking opportunities within the company. So I was getting my hands involved with online writing for the website, and also going out with journalists in the field. So seeing how they get things done in the field, how they create packages and so on. So I was involved in a number of things over there. And it's a very fast-paced environment. A lot of things are happening. News, breaking news happens all the time. So things are always changing. So you're always going to be on your toes, got to be ready for it. So it's quite exciting to be in there. And CBS is obviously quite a big channel, and WBZ is quite renowned here. So we had a lot of good stories going on, a lot of people to learn from. It was a great opportunity. You gotta be fast. You got to write fast. You got to be accurate as well with your news when it comes to news reporting and stuff like that. And you also get opportunities to be in front of camera and create your own packages and see how that works. So it was a great overall experience. I think when it comes to my training, it was pretty much on-the-job training. That's how news works. It's as it goes. As things come up, you kind of learn on the spot, and you got to really adapt to the environment and what's going on. But great learning experience overall.
Thank you, JP. It sounds like a very fast fast-pacing environment for you, like journalism. Okay, let me move to Nathalie. Nathalie, I know that compared to the internship and then the jobs that you did before, this one you did over summer is a little bit different because it's focused on more on finance and investment, right? So tell us something more about that. What is the CPP global organization? Is there any training that you did before you get on board?
Yes, so actually all of the training I did to prepare myself for this internship, I was able to get through the PR program at BU. I took, first of all, financial management with Todd Van Hoosier at the College of Communication. And I also took an investor relations course. And I felt that this really set me up well to move into this position and grasp some of the concepts that I needed to know sooner than I would have otherwise. The major things that I was doing in this position were stakeholder relations and also corporate communications. So the group that I was a part of was actually corporate communications within the public affairs department. So this involved a lot of research on companies from a public affairs perspective. So how will we communicate an acquisition or other financial move in a way that is not only honest, but also inspires trust in the company and the fund? Another thing I worked on was our quarterly report. So not the financial part of the quarterly report. I wasn't doing accounting or anything, but I was required to understand what those numbers meant and then communicate them in a more simple way to the public or other stakeholders. So a little bit of financial knowledge was required. I did do a little bit outside of school just to really bolster my understanding of different financial instruments. And I also just kept up with, markets and corporate affairs through the Wall Street Journal and other things. And another thing that was helpful was that I was reading the Wall Street Journal and other business publications for a class at the time. So it all kind of tied together through my coursework and what I was doing in my personal life. And that prepared me really well.
Sounds really good. Sounds like a perfect combination of what you've learned with all the different courses with PR programs and also a little bit linked to the financial knowledge that you got outside of the school. So sounds very exciting. And Wendy, it's your turn. So I know that this is really a new and then challenging job at the beginning for you, and then but sounds very matching with your career goal as an international marketer. So tell us something about what you do.
Yeah. So as an international student, this is my first time to getting a real job in the US, so it's a bit challenging. So my position was international marketing intern. So as I mentioned, PBS International, they license programs to overseas clients. And in completing the program's sales process, I actually participated a lot, including preparing materials, their monthly e-blast writing, and just sending it to clients. And also they got the film catalog brochure production as well. I also in charge of updating the website. So their website designed for clients to browse our available titles that they can license from us. So I'm responsible for updating it with category entries, copyrights, introduction, just to make clients' browsing experience better. And I also in charge of writing weekly clients browsing data reports. So this is really meaningful because these data are for the sales team, for them to reference to type on potential users. And other than that, I participated in a series of business meetings, like weekly general meeting and some international group meeting discussion. So the skills I mainly use for this internship is definitely communication. So the project itself is not that hard to work, but you do need to do a lot of communication with your team, your clients, or people from different departments. So communication is definitely the most important skill for me. And as for training, this company is a mature company, so they do set up a bunch of meetings in the first 4 weeks, training their new employees, and just people from different departments come to do introduction. I give you a general idea and also very detailed description of what they're doing and what they're planning to do. And then people from your group just took you step by step to get on the business. And yeah.
Wendy, I want to hold this a little bit and move to the next part. And I want you to share more about how you overall feeling as working in the United States as an international student after all the courses that you took at BU. So I will move fast to Bijun because Bijun, I know that you got more than one offer back to the spring, but you pick up Shark finally. So tell us how you overall feeling and what did you do? I made Shark and the Jar and the 2-part, and then tell us more information about that in case the other students are interested in joining this company in the future as well.
So for your first question, like I picked Shark Ninja and DDB, like there are 2 companies that offer me offers, and then I picked Shark Ninja mainly because I'm more interested in marketing right now. Right now my major is marketing communication research, and I haven't actually earned an internship focusing on marketing only before. Previously, I was always working at the agency, and I know how it works. And you know, as students, we love to explore different kind of fields, and I feel like this is the right choice. And after I joined Shark Ninja, I do feel I learned a lot on the job. And to answer the question, did you have any training? I would say half and half. Half of them are on the job, and half of them are full one-on-one. Like you set up meeting with your mentor, with your directors, manager, all those people, and then you also set up meetings with different people from different departments, like consumers insights, like strategy sales. You learn about how they work, and what exactly that I do on the job would be. First of all, I will manage the existing product lines like Steam Mobs, and I will manage their digital assets, their packaging, their in-store display, create briefs for creative teams, and like guide them to guide them like what is your next step, what would be requirement, what's the timeline, and those kind of stuff. And then for go-to-market, which I signed non-disclosure agreement, so probably cannot disclose like where what exactly are the products. But one thing that I can do mention is that we recently had a product launch online called Hydrovac, which is I kind of take part in a little bit. So you can do like both hard floor cleaning and carpet cleaning a little bit, well, like on the same time. And it's a very interesting and innovative product. And as Shark Ninja or Shark, we are kind of in charge of like the product positioning, all the digital assets, all the package designs, all the communication strategies. And as an intern, I just help like whenever they call me. Yes, and I really learned a lot about like pricing. And previously when I worked at advertising agency, I only focused on promotion only. Like, you know, the 4-piece marketing mix, they have product, placement, price, and promotion. And I only focus on promotion previously. But for this one, I really learned a lot of, about other 3 P's that I learned in the class. I kind of can relate what I learned from books to what I learned from jobs together, and help me understand more about what exactly is marketing. And yes, and what skills that I use for this internship, I would say competitive analysis a lot, like very much. I created a lot of slides, like hundreds of slides for my company, and basically learning about the product, learning about the category, learning about all those kind of unfamiliar words for international students, like what exactly is hand pump feature. I'm like, what is that? At the first time when I joined the company, but I have to watch the videos to like understand the product and explain it to other team as well. So it basically like I improve a lot of sorry. Improve a lot of skills on my language, and also I volunteer myself to apply my R language, like, you know, the R programming to my jobs, to learn about competitive sets as well. Like a lot of things that you need to volunteer yourself to like really apply the skill sets that you learn from BU to this job. Yeah.
Set up a very good models for MCR students who can both utilize the data or computer science related knowledges into a marketing related jobs. And then I know that your goal is always to be a brand strategist. And then I think this is the perfect combination for both of your previous experience and then the summer internship. Thank you so much for all of you. We'll move to the next part, and I will circle back to Wendy. Wendy, I know that you did your undergrad study at BU from CES, and now you continue your master's degree in advertising at COM. So you already utilized all resources and took COM courses during your undergrad level studies. So I want to know that, okay, what resource and what knowledges you've learned at COM that prepared you very well for this internship and also for your future career goal as the international marketer. Feel free to share whenever you feel like, you know, it can be a good advice for the first year grad students.
Okay, so the knowledge I learned from COM really helped me get this internship. I began the interview process in April, and I was taking the media strategy course back then. So I didn't even expect that, but I used the professional terms, the jargon I used in that class got my internship. So during the interview, I point out that I'm taking the media strategy course at the beginning, and the Pbs Distribution, the manager, I mean, they are some media distributor company, so they're really interested at what the media strategy course you're taking, like prepared you and ask me some jargons definition like OTT, SWOT, and TVOT. And they're looking for this kind of connection between you and the industry. So I used the term definition I learned from COM courses that got my internship. So the most proud thing that I achieving during my internship is that I'm an international student and I'm originally from China. So I was helping the sales team suggesting titles to clients in Asian market, including Bilibili. It's a platform like YouTube in China and some airlines in Asia. So I'm the only Asian in the team, and I'm really excited to be able to contribute in the field that I'm familiar with. So as for the overall growth, so personally, I now always do double check. So email things to myself before sending it to the team. So during my internship, one project was asking me to send in an e-blast to 32 in-flight clients. And honestly speaking, I was really afraid of grammar and format and words. So I checked again and let the team preview it before I sending it out. So you don't really want to leave people with the impression that you're not reliable. So just do double checking. And that's also the habit that I always do now. And professionally, as I mentioned before, so the communication skill is really important. So I really improved a lot in communication, like with your team, with your client. And in this process, I realized saying something like recognize people's work, like saying thank you is really important. And other than that, I learned about the process of licensing films or shows in international marketing. And selling films and shows is definitely new knowledge for me.
Thank you so much. I think what you said is very wisely, because for a lot of international students at COMS that we can definitely use our multicultural background and also your bilingual skill set and to do very well in international marketing jobs. So I want to move to Nathalie. Nathalie, I wanted to know that to talk about what is the personal and professional achievement through this internship compared to what you did before? Especially you have a strong interest in public affairs, and then I know that you learn and again knowledge a little bit about finance. So tell us something about your achievement overall in this internship.
Of course. Well, the thing that I'm maybe most proud of achieving specifically at CPP Investments is just the amount that I was able to contribute to the team. Even as an intern, I felt that I gave a lot of useful advice to my team just from, a Gen Z perspective about financial communications. I was also asked to create some reputation monitoring systems from scratch, which the team loved and that they would be continuing to use even after my departure, moving back to Boston. So I do feel like I was able to make an impact as an intern, and that's something I'm proud of. I also felt that I developed a lot professionally and a lot personally. Working at a financial institution as a communications or public affairs person was really an eye-opening experience, because in the past, I've either been within an entire department or agency or company that really understands what they want from public affairs, or public affairs and communications is all that we do. In the case of a financial institution, you're really grappling with a lot of these different personalities. I was outnumbered as someone who was not strictly a math or finance person. I've got a little bit of that background, but obviously not as much as an analyst or the CFO or anything. So something that probably my biggest area of development was just learning to communicate in a way that made financial people take me seriously, because sometimes, to being completely honest, people see, you know, communications or public relations in your background and they think, okay, this person is just a marketer, or they're just not, we don't need to take them seriously, their opinion doesn't matter. And unfortunately, or maybe not unfortunately, but you know, there is really a skill to making other people in a company take your work seriously and understand what your value is. And I feel that I got a good idea of how to do that within the context of my organization.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, Natalie. JP, I know before you did this internship in the United States, you were journalists and reporters for publication, and drafted a lot of like article before. And then you had this interest in sports journalism, and then slowly, eventually linked to data science. So I want to know that, is there anything you learned from this summer internship that a little bit close to the data science that you're interested and want to be more linked to in the future?
Yeah, I mean, so there are a number of opportunities to get involved, the growing field of data journalism, which is becoming more and more popular and more in demand. And there's got a number of opportunities to do some research based around data at CBS and contribute to articles that were data oriented. So there's definitely that intersection there in between it, and any journalism role, you'll find that if you have data skills as a journalist, it's always a benefit to have. You can be a great asset to whichever companies you're in. But CBS was really a chance, you know, for me to kind of delve into areas that I hadn't delved into before. So as a TV station, I got the chance to write a lot of scripts and work a lot of programs that I hadn't worked with before. So coming from a more traditional background, it was definitely a kind of shift for me, and it was good to experience how things were like on a TV side and see that actually, you know, there's a lot of opportunity there to grow, a lot of opportunities there in general. TV stations are, you know, in desperate need of people to work there. So they're always hiring, always looking for people to join. And if you have, you know, experience within a TV station, because, you know, it is as soon as you step in the door, it's you know, full blast from day one. So you got to, if you have experience knowing how the programs work and how the systems work and how to produce a show and all that stuff, from prior internships, it will, you know, really kind of make you stand out as a candidate. So, you know, definitely great opportunities around the Boston area, but all across, you know, states for, you know, to get involved in TV as a producer, see how things are done behind the scenes. And also, if you want to be in front of the camera as well, you know, it was a great opportunity to kind of see how anchors do it and how best present yourself as a reporter and all that stuff.
Awesome. Okay. Speaking, we've talked a lot about internship, and then let's go to the very beginning of searching for this internship and to secure this internship. That's all the stars begin, right? So, Bijun, I know that back in the spring 2022, you received more than one offer, and then you're struggling to choose which one works best for your not only academic interest but your career path. And then we've talked a lot about this back then, and then I want you to share with us, how did you search for the proper internship that fits your interest and fits your career goal? And then how did you evaluate between different opportunities? And then how do you perform and then do with the interview and then make yourself stand out finally and got this opportunity?
What I prepare to kind of apply for internship would be I polish my resume a lot. As my bio said, I work at Korea Center with Jake and also Heather, and they help like take a look at my resume. I let my peer look at my resume, and I found out a lot of mistakes or some things that I haven't brag about in my resume before. And I like previously I thought my resume is perfect like anyone else, and I was like, oh, it must be ready. But after my peers and my friends, my directors, Heather, they look at it, they found a lot of things that I can really improve, and then I kind of polish it and then submit that ready to go resume to any companies that I'm interested in. It's not company, but like I basically search on marketing, intern, brand strategies, whatever it is, related to my job, related to my career, and on LinkedIn and Handshake. And then I almost applied like 100 company, like to, like I was so desperate that back then I was like, I don't know what to do, but I have to apply. And then after a few months, like several companies reached out back to me and says that, oh, you seems like a good fit, and you need to like schedule an interview with me. I was like, oh, I was so excited about it like back then. And then I prepare a lot for interviews, and I participate with my friends about like what would be the career like correct way to brag about my experience. What would be the most valuable experience or skill sets that I can offer to this company? I will think from different kind of perspective. Basically, you think yourself as like you consider yourself as a product, and how to sell this product to this company would be a very good way to think about how to sell a resume to like different kind of company. So brag about yourself. You only brag about your good skills, not bad skills, right? And if you they ask you about something like what's your weakness, you should definitely recognize your weakness and pick the one that not hurt you. Yes, basically like that. Yeah.
Thank you. And Nathalie, I want to focus a little bit more with you on interview. So how many random interview you did with CPP? And is there anything that, that interests you the most that you want to share with us during the entire process?
Sure. So something, if anyone here is interested in a financial communications role or, public affairs at a bank or an insurance company, even anything that has to do with the financial sector, they put out their internships early. That's something that I've noticed pretty consistently across the board. So I applied for my internship in late January, actually. And that's when I noticed a lot of those positions coming out. So that's definitely something to keep in mind for summer internships. January, February is when you might start seeing those positions at financial institutions come out. I did 3 rounds of interviews. One was just a quick phone call confirming I was interested in the position, giving a very short background about myself, and then being told that I would receive an email about whether there was another interview. The second was a Zoom interview with 3 people, including the person who ended up being my manager at the internship. This was kind of more behavioral, a little bit gauging just my knowledge of the financial sector. And then the final interview was with one more senior manager who it was more of a personality fit thing at that point, I think. And you will find at a lot of these bigger institutions, they do have the resources to complete a number of interview rounds, which can be scary. I'm not going to lie. It sometimes feels like, okay, I'm so deep in it now, and I don't want to get my hopes up yet because there's a few more interviews, but it does take, I noticed, at least for myself, some work in, mental stamina and keeping that enthusiasm and not giving up and selling yourself short. And so just on the note of preparing for, applications as well as interviews, I have a system, I call it my master interview document. It's just a Google Doc and it's a template. I would be happy to share this later if anyone's interested, but it's basically just a fill in the blanks sheet for every company that I interviewed with. And it includes things like the job description, the responsibilities that are stated in the job application, the qualifications, and then different sections for company information. So social and culture information about the company, how they're doing financially, which is always very impressive to bring up if you are interviewing at a public company. If they're making any moves in the technology sector, and then just other information that might be cool to bring up. And then I actually write my potential question and answer sections in advance, because even if they don't ask those exact questions, it gives you something to work off of. I guarantee if you write the answers to 10 generic interview questions down, you will be able to answer pretty well anything that they ask you.
Yeah, I strongly echo you. It's just like you mock interview with yourself and then prepare whatever they are going to ask you before the interview. And then I think this sheet, a Google sheet or whatever, that the document that you create for yourself is really helpful, because looking for jobs is a full-time job, and then it's give you a lot of information. You need a database for yourself. And thank you so much, Nathalie, for sharing it.
Yeah, just one more thing. I
Yeah.
was gonna say, I also build it into your schedule. That's something that I did. Like if you have a little to-do list for your readings, apply for one job, because otherwise, I know personally, I will not do it unless it's on my to-do list.
Thank you so much. JP, how about you? I wanna know, how did you do to search for this internship? I know that many opportunities, especially for journalism programs, they ended up applying very early, maybe from back to the fall 2021, and you start looking for an opportunity, right? So tell us something about how did you search for it and then got this internship secure?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of stuff what Nathalie said, and echoing what she said about it becomes a numbers game. Just apply and apply, and keep your mental stamina up. It can be discouraging at times. You're applying for, I'm in the process now of applying for full-time jobs, and you don't hear back for a while, but don't get your hopes down. I think with journalism, there are a few opportunities that open up now, primarily with the bigger companies. So Wall Street Journal and Washington Post, etc. They're all open up their internship opportunities now, and should definitely consider those. I know that this time last year I was in the same boat, and I utilized the Common Career Services and for my resume, to update my resume and cover letter and stuff like that, to apply for those roles. But don't get discouraged if you don't hear back from them. In fact, a lot of opportunities do open up in the spring window. In fact, I didn't secure mine till about mid-April. I think that's a common theme for a lot of journalism internships, is that the big ones, and there are only a few of them, open up early. These are talking about major news publications around the States, and the rest tend to come and go throughout the year. So don't be discouraged if you don't get an internship by end of the semester. I think a majority of people don't. In fact, and a lot of great opportunities throughout spring. So the best advice I can give is to stay prepared. Don't be discouraged. Make sure your resume is up to date. Make sure, like Nathalie said, you're applying on a regular basis, and keep applying until the right opportunity lands. But I know from my peers and from my experience that a lot of people secure internships in kind of the late spring semester. So don't panic if if it's coming to like March and you haven't secured anything yet. Just keep going at it. Something will come up, and there are always opportunities out there. Just make sure you're looking in the right places. So if you're a journalist, LinkedIn's obviously a great one, but there's also journalismjobs.com. And then just look around what's in your area and think about your needs and requirements. Do you want to relocate as an international student? For me, that was a big one. I wanted to make sure that I was in Boston because I had a lease here, and I didn't want to have to pack up all my stuff and move halfway across the country. So I would make sure I wanted to be here, and opportunities come up. So keep an eye out on local companies here like CBS and other TV stations and what they're offering opportunities wise. And also reach out to them and say, hey, this is who I am, it's my portfolio, so I can offer. I think that's the best thing is especially in journalism, this network, expand your network as much as you can.
JP, thank you so much. I think you already touched a lot of good points for our last part, but I want to circle back to Wendy. Wendy, is there anything you want to add to this on how you search for and then finally secure and pass the interview and do this internship in the summer?
Yeah, so I actually started a bit late in April, and I didn't attend any career fair, but I did talk to common advisor, talk to you, Lou, to see if there's any resources and get some advice from international student job searching. And this is really helpful. So I got this advice from Lou, and I'm an international student. Sometimes it's hard to competing with local students because of language barrier or complicated visa things, but my strength is having an international background. So back then, Lou suggested me to search the job title related to international because there are companies doing global business and they want people with international background. So I think that's quite important. Just doing some keyword search that related to yourself, your identity, your strength. Just try to let yourself differentiate from others.
Thank you. And then one little follow-up with Nathalie. Nathalie, I want to ask if you can share what platforms or what tools that you use to search for the internship. I know a lot of students, we use Handshake, but except for the resources that we offer on campus, is there anything that you use off campus?
Yeah, so I actually found the initial posting for this job on LinkedIn. It was kind of shared everywhere on the, Handshake, Facebook, LinkedIn, Indeed universe, but I personally prefer LinkedIn's search function for jobs. I think that's probably my favorite platform to look for opportunities on.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. And then the last part, I think JP already mentioned a lot of good advice that he is going to offer to the new intern next summer. But I want to follow up with Bijun. Bijun, is there anything that you think the new international students needs to know that when they search for and then looking for an internship, is there advice that you think will be helpful?
So first of all, be brave. Be brave enough to apply as an international student. And I know a lot of you, and also including me, are kind of discouraged by the barriers, like language barriers. But it's okay. Like a lot of people, like a lot of companies, they do recruit a lot of international students. So maybe learn about the companies that you're going to apply. Like Shark Ninja, they are global, and in these terms, that means that they will recruit a lot of different kind of people with different backgrounds because they want to target international market as well. They want to learn about how other people think, not only United States citizens. So probably just try. And also another thing, although for me, I apply as many as I can. But the things that you also will set some bars, like set some qualification for yourself, is you going to select the company as well. Not only the company is going to select you. So it's a both way. So be careful about that as well. Don't discourage yourself too much. So you just apply randomly, whatever it is, and go for it. But you can just like try and have some offers that can kind of like promise that you're going to work in the summer, but also for yourself you need to have some qualification to make yourself like stand out in the future, right? So yes, that's my advice.
Thank you. And then Yiqing, is there anything you want to add to this?
Yeah, just planning ahead. So as I mentioned, I started a bit late. So there are not really so many options for me to choose, but PBSD is a really good choice. So I do suggest you to planning ahead to get more options. And the keyword search, just make it more relevant to yourself, like think about yourself. One more important thing is that after the interview, always reply the email politely and take the initiative of following up because you want to let the HR or the team to see that you're passionate about this position.
Thank you. Proactively reach out and then just follow up. And Nathalie, how about you? Anything you want to add to this?
Yeah, I just want to give some perspective on the application process that I personally use. I think it's a good point to always be looking for opportunities and applying, but I will also say that the applications that I have been most successful on have been the ones where I have spent the time writing a fresh cover letter, really looking at my resume, matching the keywords. So sometimes it is, if you see something and you think this is the perfect position for me, I want this so bad, rewrite your cover letter. It's not worth using the template if it means that much to you. And I am someone who loves templates. I hate that I have to give this advice because I hate that it proves all the advice right, that you really should put effort into these things if you really are passionate about them. So yeah, keep applying, but also make sure that you are tailoring those cover letters and resumes, and also use the resources available to you at the College of Communication. I know in every major that you can do here and every master's program, there are professors who have done almost exactly what you want to do in their careers. So for me, Professor Quigley was an amazing resource. He has since retired, but just in whatever program you're in, find the professors that have done what you're trying to do and set up a meeting with them, because that's what they're here for.
Thank you so much. Very helpful. Use faculty resources as much as possible. They're just so valuable to the grad students. And JP, how about you? Anything you want to add to this?
Yeah, actually, on the subject of cover letters, I think the best advice I received from journalists I've spoken to in positions that I want is make a cover letter as a journalist, tell a story as if you're writing an article. Like just tell your story in your cover letter. So I know we're conditioned to think, in our undergrad and stuff, that our cover letters need to be a certain format. And even I, coming to this, into my grad school, was okay, cover letter needs to be this, that. But when it comes to journalism, and obviously you're trying to show off that you can write well and tell a good story, tell your story in your cover letter. So make it your own. If recruiters see hundreds, maybe not thousands cover letters a day, the same format. So, and it's going to be hard for you to distinguish yourself in a portal where, you're just a name or a number, but you can really do that with your cover letter by just telling your own story. So I would say, just make your own kind of, as if you're writing an article about yourself, and then kind of integrate those elements that are important for that role. So that kind of also tailor it to why that role is necessary. But yeah, a fresh cover letter every time. I know it sounds like a lot, but it goes a long way.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think what you said, everyone is really brilliant, because we are all communicator. You're a future communicator in different industry, but storytelling is essential. It's a crucial essential skills for all of you. So make sure that you have different version of cover letter and resume for different position, different companies, and you want to study them and then move forward with them. Thank you so much, everyone. It's all very, very helpful. And I want to move to the next part and let Michelle from the Career Service team to introduce the resources that their team is going to offer to grad students this fall. Michelle, please.
Thanks, Lou. So yeah, Career Services is a tool I think you should definitely use a lot. Don't worry about coming here too many times. Come often, come as many times as you want. We have help with resume, cover letters, LinkedIn search, job search, networking. If you don't know something, if you don't know someone, I think Kayla just mentioned it in the chat, like if you don't have a specific faculty instructor that you're working with yet, you can come and we can connect you with that faculty to make sure that you have the resources that you need. Also, a great tool is Handshake. Handshake has everything from events that we have, jobs, internships. You can make all your appointments through Handshake. So that's a tool that you should use while you're here. Also, we have a whole load of events and workshops that we're having for the semester. One that's really great we're going to be having on October 6th is the How to Find an Internship workshop, which you should tune in, especially if you're looking for an internship right now. My advice, I think I agree with Nathalie, JP, everybody who said start early, quality over quantity. So sometimes you might have to spend that extra time or make 2 appointments in 1 week just to make sure that your resume or your cover letter is up to par for that specific internship or job that you're applying to. And all of these resources can be found on bu.edu/comcareerservices. We have everything.
Thank you so much. And also this page that I list up, header find the Director of Career Service, their headers, contact information, and also the email address of all the 4 panelists that's going to share with all the valuable experience with us today. So feel free to reach out to either of them. And if they're in the same program with you and you want to know more about their experiences and their advice, and feel free to reach out and build the connections. Okay. Now I think that's it for everything, but I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And so we're going to see each other face to face. And if you have any questions, feel free to just let us know. It's time for you. I give the floor to everyone. Any questions? If you currently already start looking for an internship for next fall, and then if you're in a journalism program, advertising program, MCR program, or PR program, and then feel free to share whatever your concerns or questions, and then you think anything that you want to share, or you just want to say hi and then tell us your previous internship experience. That also be very helpful.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Hey, so my name is Juan. I'm also on the PR program, so it's also my
Juan.
first semester. Nice to meet you. But my question was, if you are a first semester student and you currently don't have any student activities under your belt at the moment, so for right now, I signed up to work with the student publication organization. Would that be off-putting to employers for an internship if you don't have recent work under your belt? If you have gaps per se, like work gaps in your resume?
Any of our panel want to answer these questions?
I will say like the gaps between your because you have to study, right? Like they understand you, they know who you are. As long as you are a student, like they understand you. So the biggest thing is that you can find why you are valuable and sell it to the companies. And as long as you do that, they will not say, oh, there's a gap there. They will discard you from this position. No, what they're going to say is that, oh, you can offer these skill sets. You can do this thing to match this job description. That's it. That would be the first things that you need to do. And don't worry about the gap at all.
Okay, thank you.
And also from the courses that you're learning this semester, there's include an assignment or the project that you did with your group, with your teammate. You can also include that because it's not only assignment or a project, it includes a skill set and the knowledge that will be valuable and helpful to the future employer. So they will evaluate it, the overall performances based on the knowledge you learn, because they know that your grad students are current at BU.
Okay, thank you.
Any panelists want to add to this regarding this question? Or any other questions?
Hi, yes, I have a question. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, Nathalie.
Okay, I was wondering if for international students, are there specific companies, especially for journalism students, that are known to hire international students or to be more accepting of our status?
JP, you want to answer this question based on your experience?
Yeah, sure. So I think for internships, primarily, they're not really concerned about your international status or not, so that shouldn't be a problem. However, in Boston, and this is something you should be aware of, GBH, which is one of the local NPR stations here, do not hire international students even for internships, which is a strange rule that internally they don't even know why that's the case. Like I know the editor there and stuff, and even he was like, it's a silly rule, but for some reason they don't hire international students. So maybe that's changed since last year. I don't think it has. So I would stay away from applying for GBH. But for the most part, you do kind of want to aim for the bigger umbrellas or the bigger branches of companies, so the Gannett types and McClatchy and Hearst and the Wall Street Journals and stuff like that. Although that might be include relocation and stuff like that, which we also have to consider. But you know, for the most part, it shouldn't be an issue for internships. I think it's more, I would see more like, where's a good fit for you and where can you get the most for your portfolio and stuff like that to help you prepare for when you actually get a full-time job. So it shouldn't be a major issue, but definitely, I think you're thinking locally in Boston, GBH don't hire international students.
Thank you.
Can I add one thing? I know that my friends, they join New York Post and also CNN, so maybe try those. And yeah.
Thank you, that's helpful.
Any other questions? I see we have so many MCR students today. So do you have anything you wanna ask or you wanna share? All right, if we don't have additional questions, I will just close the panel today. And then thank you so much for all our panelists and then guest Michelle. And the advice and information you share with all of us are very helpful and very valuable, informative. And then I really enjoyed this hour with all of you. So if any of you have any questions, and then just feel free to reach out to the panelists, and then also book appointment on Handshake with Career Service, and then use whatever resources their office can offer to all grad students on your career development. Okay, all right, best of luck for this semester, everyone. And also one more reminder, Lou would like to remind everyone. One more reminder is this morning before the event, our Grad Affairs office sent out a newsletter. It's the bi-weekly newsletter from our office and include quite a few important on-campus job information, because I know some students already ask about on-campus jobs. So feel free to go through, read it, and don't skip the newsletter from Career Service and from Grad Affairs office. Okay. All right, everyone, thank you so much. And then hope you enjoy the rest of your day and have a wonderful weekend. All right, bye now.